Hi there, I'm Hannah, and I'm here to tell you the story of how I met Elkanah, my husband. Now, Elkanah isn't just any husband. Oh no, he's special. But let me start from the beginning, with a little laughter along the way. One sunny day in Ramah, I was at the marketplace, minding my own business and trying to haggle with the fruit seller, Mr. Pomegranate. Yes, that's what we all called him because he sold the juiciest pomegranates. Suddenly, out of nowhere, this tall, clumsy man bumped into me, sending my basket of fruits flying. That man was Elkanah. Elkanah stammered, "I'm so sorry," as he scrambled to pick up the fruits. I couldn't help but laugh at his flustered face. "It's okay," I said. "Just make sure you catch the apples next time. They don't like falling." We both laughed, and that's how we met. From that day on, Elkanah would show up at the marketplace every week, trying to impress me with his charming jokes. Once, he tried to juggle 3 pomegranates to show off, but he ended up juggling himself instead. I laughed so hard I nearly dropped my basket again. But Elkanah wasn't just funny. He was kind too. He'd help me carry my heavy baskets and always made sure to bring a smile to my face. We had small arguments, of course, like when he insisted on making stew with my precious pomegranates. "Elkanah, you can't just throw pomegranates in everything." I'd laugh. Our early adventures were filled with laughter, love, and lots of fruit-related mishaps. There was the time Elkanah decided to surprise me with a picnic. He packed everything himself, but forgot to close the honey jar properly. By the time we got to the picnic spot, ants had taken over our basket. We ended up laughing and running around, trying to save our food from the tiny invaders. Then, there was our first festival together. Elkanah insisted on participating in the tug-of-war contest. He was so confident, but when the whistle blew, he got pulled right into the mud pit. He looked like a mud monster, and I couldn't stop laughing. Despite the mud, he managed to pull his team to victory, and he proudly declared, "I did it for you, Hannah." I couldn't help but roll my eyes and laugh even more. As time went on, I realized Elkanah was more than just a source of endless amusement. He was thoughtful and caring. When I had a bad day, he'd show up with flowers and my favorite honey cakes. When I needed someone to talk to, he'd listen patiently, often adding his own humorous twist to make me smile. One day, Elkanah came home with a sparkle in his eye. "Hannah, we need to do something big, something that will make a difference," he exclaimed. I raised an eyebrow, thinking he had another wild idea, like trying to make pomegranate stew again. "What do you have in mind this time, my dear?" He sat me down and said, "We need to go to Shiloh and pray. There's something special about that place, and I believe our prayers will be answered there." Now, for those who don't know, Shiloh was a significant place where people went to worship and seek blessings. But it was also quite a journey away, and the road wasn't exactly paved with gold, more like rocks and mud. We decided to prepare for the trip, and as usual, our preparations were nothing short of comedic. Elkanah tried to pack all sorts of unnecessary things. "Do we really need a frying pan, a fishing net, and that giant jar of pickles?" I asked, laughing. "You never know, Hannah," he said with a wink. The journey began, and it was as eventful as you can imagine. We encountered a grumpy camel that refused to move unless Elkanah sang to it. And let me tell you, Elkanah's singing is not for the faint of heart. But he gave it his all, and the camel finally budged. Then we met a merchant with a parrot that kept mimicking everything Elkanah said, which led to endless giggles. As we traveled, we faced our fair share of challenges. There was a river we had to cross, and Elkanah, trying to be heroic, decided to carry me across. Halfway through, he slipped, and we both ended up splashing into the water. We emerged soaked and laughing, looking like a pair of drenched ducks. Finally, we arrived at Shiloh, tired but filled with hope. We joined others in prayer, and I poured out my heart, asking for a child. Elkanah, ever the supportive husband, prayed alongside me, adding his unique humor to the mix. "Dear Lord, if you give us a child, I promise to never make pomegranate stew again." I couldn't help but chuckle even in such a serious moment. Our time in Shiloh was profound. We felt a sense of peace and hope that we hadn't felt before. As we made our way back home, I couldn't shake the feeling that something wonderful was on the horizon. After returning from Shiloh, Elkanah and I settled back into our daily lives, filled with hope and anticipation. We couldn't stop talking about the amazing experience and the sense of peace we felt. Elkanah, being his usual self, kept the mood light. "Hannah, I just know something great is going to happen, and if it doesn't, at least we've got enough pomegranates to last a lifetime." I laughed and rolled my eyes. Months passed, and I began to notice something different. I felt a new kind of flutter in my heart, one that was both exciting and a little scary. Could it be that our prayers were answered? One morning I felt a little queasy and realized with a burst of joy that I might be expecting. Elkanah, ever the joker, said, "Well, Hannah, looks like we'll need to build an extra room for the pomegranate storage." We laughed and hugged, tears of happiness streaming down our faces. As my belly grew, so did our excitement. Elkanah was the most attentive husband, always by my side with a joke to make me smile. He even started talking to my belly, making silly promises like, "I'll teach you how to juggle pomegranates, but don't worry, you'll be better at it than I am." Finally, the big day arrived. Our home was filled with excitement and nervousness. Elkanah was a bundle of nerves, pacing back and forth, tripping over his own feet. When our son Samuel was born, it was the most beautiful and overwhelming moment of our lives. Elkanah held him gently and whispered, "Welcome to the world, little one. Your mom and I have been waiting for you." Samuel was a blessing beyond words. He brought joy and laughter to our home, just as Elkanah and I had always dreamed. We decided to dedicate Samuel to the Lord, as we had promised in our prayers at Shiloh. When we brought him to the temple, Elkanah, with tears in his eyes, said, "Hannah, look at what our love and faith have brought us." Our journey was filled with ups and downs, laughter and tears, but through it all, we had each other. Elkanah's humor and kindness, combined with our shared faith, carried us through the toughest times and made our joys even sweeter. So, dear friends, that's the story of how love, laughter, and a bit of pomegranate juggling led us to the greatest blessing of all, our son, Samuel. Life with Elkanah has been an adventure, and I wouldn't trade a single moment of it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed our story, comment your favorite part. Like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Check out our other videos for more fun and inspiration. See you next time.